Your Excellency, President Nana Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana, represented by the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Muhammadu Bawumia. Your Excellency, representative of the Chair of the African Union, the Honorable Minister of Trade of the Democratic Republic of Congo, His Excellency Jean-Lucien Bussa Tomba. Your Excellencies, the representatives of the heads of state, and I take the opportunity to recognize Mr. Yaya, the Honorable Minister of Finance of Togo, who is representing the President of the Republic of Togo. I think the Director of Ceremony omitted him. Your Excellency, the former President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Olusegun Obasanjo. Your Excellency, the former President of the Republic of Niger and champion of the AFCFTA initiative, His Excellency President Muhammadu Yusufu. Your Excellency Wakele Mane, the Secretary General of the AFCFTA. Your Excellency Mr. Godwin Emefiele, the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Chair of the Papss Governing Council. Honorable Ministers here represented, the governors here represented, especially the governors of the West African Monetary Zone, with whom Papss was co-created, members of the diplomatic corps, senior officials of the AFCFTA Secretariat and Afreximbank, ladies and gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. In a recent article in the United Nations magazine called Africa Renewal, Mr. Kingsley Ibobo reported, and I quote, "When Fidelis Adele, the CEO of Freetown-based Solid Graphics, a printing and communications company, needed to order some printing equipment from Nigeria in September 2021. He paid an extra $165 on top of a $10,000 bank transfer to the seller. Yet, it took 3 days for the money to be credited to the beneficiary's account in Nigeria. When Mr. Dele was informed of the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System and how it will operate, he said, and I quote again, "If I can take the leons to a bank here in Sierra Leone and pay for printing products in Nigeria, and the money is instantly deposited in the beneficiary's account in Nigeria, that would be extraordinary," unquote. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, today we begin the process of making the extraordinary conjecture of Mr. Adele an ordinary way of conducting intra-African trade payments. That vision, that distant possibility that Mr. Adele thought would be extraordinary is today a reality. Afreximbank is pleased to have worked with its partners in delivering a highly transformational integration instrument to our continent. We are proud to have once again lived up to our mantra, namely, If it is possible, it will be done. If it is impossible, it can't be done. We join earlier speakers in commending the government of the Republic of Ghana and the AFCFTA Secretariat for hosting this commercial launch. We thank the heads of states and their representatives, as well as the honorable ministers, governors of central banks, business leaders, bankers, and others who are here, the Afreximbank members of the board of Afreximbank, members of the board of the Papss, as well as heads of international organizations for sparing the time to join us here today. This strong show of support marks a solid beginning for the commercial opportunities of the Papss. Your Excellencies, globally, a functioning payment infrastructure underpins international trade. An efficient payment system unifies fragmented markets and supports other trade services such as trade finance. As trading under the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement gains momentum, a functioning payment infrastructure that can integrate the disparate payment systems across the 55 countries on the continent, improve payment flows, and reduce transaction costs will become central to the growth of intra-African trade. This is particularly true because Africa presents a peculiar problem that lends itself to innovative solutions. There are 42 national currencies on the continent. Access to hard currencies required to transact across borders is very limited. Current payment arrangements cost the continent about $5 billion annually, and intra-regional payments take between 2 to 14 days to complete. With these kinds of problems, it is no wonder that intra-African trade levels are so low. While Afreximbank and its partners are working hard under the AFCFTA arrangement to reduce the various impediments to intra-African trade, dealing with the problems of payment remains a key priority. During my recent tour of a few Southern African countries after the recently concluded Intra-African Trade Fair in Durban, a few entrepreneurs who participated in the fair expressed absolute satisfaction in the entire event. More importantly, a new deal signed and relationships forged. Aware of the hard currency challenges across Africa, the concern raised with me in country after country was how they would get paid when they transact under the deals they secured at the trade fair. Your Excellencies, why should we require hard currencies for trade between Kenya and Uganda, or between Senegal and Guinea? Why should a trader in Malawi worry about receiving payments for goods shipped to Kenya? Why can't we operate as if every African currency is convertible within Africa? And why should intra-African payments be routed via third countries outside our continent? Why should we pay $5 billion annually, more than the nominal GDP of more than 25% of the countries in Africa, in clearing charges to non-African banks for Africa-to-Africa transactions? With the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, we will begin to address these absurdities. That is why it is a revolutionary and path-breaking system that can transform Africa's financial landscape and promote continental trade and financial integration. Today's commercial launch of Papss is a watershed moment for the continent and represents another step towards restoring the dignity of the Africans. Beyond making payments more efficient, the Pan-African payment and settlement system will begin to strengthen African currencies and enhance their regional convertibility. Papss will also serve as an added tool for monetary policy management for most African countries. This is why, at the outset, Afreximbank plans to back the system with a $3 billion overdraft facility to African central banks and other direct participants. This facility will avail resources to the central banks and other banks for settlements and clearing, while bringing stability and predictability to external payment flows and current account management. Among commercial banks, Afreximbank, through its Afreximbank Trade Facilitation Program, is forging relationships with at least 500 African banks, providing them SC confirmation lines and trade services. We intend to provide lines of up to $8 billion to these banks. Currently, we are at the level of $2 billion, but with Papss coming on, we plan to accelerate these facilities. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to pause for a moment and think of the possibilities we are opening today. Permit me to highlight a few. We are making it possible for a South African chocolate manufacturer to buy Ghanaian cocoa butter by simply using rands to buy cedis. We have created a platform for a Zambian farmer in a rural village to download his or her favorite Nollywood movie by simply paying in Zambian kwacha, while the movie maker in Nigeria receives the naira. We have opened the opportunity for Senegalese to buy critical pharmaceuticals from Egypt by simply using the CFA franc to buy Egyptian pounds. It will now be possible for the big EPC contractors in Africa, Egypt, South Africa, to price infrastructure projects in the continent in the currency of the project owners, making them more competitive. With the Papss, a Gambian can pay for holidays in the Seychelles using Gambian dalasi. And African Airlines will have the opportunity to convert their money stock in various African countries into their national currencies. Papss will make it possible for a Tunisian to buy shares in the Mauritius Stock Exchange using the Tunisian dinar. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in one move, we will contribute to strengthening African currencies and restoring pride to them. We will confer advantage to African contractors in participating in infrastructure projects in Africa and reduce the foreign currency burden of the projects in the process. We can lend African currencies to other African countries and book intra-regional trade as a result. We will make intra-African trade most attractive, once again, creating employment for our people. We will improve liquidity in our stock exchanges, and we will make African airlines stronger by also improving their liquidity. In rolling out the system, we recognized that central banks were at different stages of development of their payment infrastructure. We are therefore helping many central banks to upgrade and improve their systems. We are most pleased to have assisted 6 central banks in West Africa and initiated the necessary processes of extending this support to other sub-regions. As we expand to the rest of the continent, the bank will be working with the African Development Bank and others to enable all these systems upgrades. Your Excellencies, I would like to put on record the important role played by central banks, particularly those of the West African Monetary Zone, in making Papss a reality. As co-creators, their guidance and expert advice helped in fine-tuning the system to optimally serve the intended purpose. We thank the governors, the members of the Papss Governing Council for their tremendous support for this project. Policy support from institutions such as the Association of African Central Banks and technical support from system designers and developers are also most appreciated. The members of the Board of Directors of Afreximbank, members of the Papss Management Board, and members of the Papss Membership Mobilization Working Group also deserve our full appreciation. And so does the former and current Director General of the West African Monetary Institute, who have worked with us tirelessly on this project for many years. We also like to put on record the leadership roles played by His Excellency President Fattah al-Sisi, the President of the Republic of Egypt, under whose chairmanship of the African Union, the Papss was launched as an AU project. And to His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, the AU champion of financial institutions, for his unflinching support that accelerated the Papss development work. We also like to thank His Excellency President Muhammadu Yusufu, the former president of Nigeria, the champion of the AFCFTA, for the strong political support he gave to this project through the African Union system. The support of His Excellency Musa Faki Mahamat, Chair of the AU Commission, His Excellency Ambassador Mochanga, AU Commissioner for Economic Development, Trade, Industry and Mining, and His Excellency Wankele Mene, Secretary General of AFCFTA Secretariat, were critical in leveraging continental policy support for the Papss. The able team at the AFCFTA Secretariat worked and continues to work tirelessly with Afreximbank, the Papss team, and the West African Monetary Institute on this project. Today, we are witnessing the fruit of their effort. The management of Papss, led by Messrs. Michael Balu and John Bosco Sebabi, deserve special mention for their accomplishments within a short time. While I congratulate all of us on this historic achievement, we are not unmindful that this is just the beginning. We are fully aware of the hard work or the hard road we still have to travel to achieve continental coverage. We will be counting on your continued support while we will remain resolute and focused, convinced that this is a battle we must win for our people, no matter the price, no matter the obstacles we must overcome. I thank you for your kind attention.